do you want to do for a cold open?
Mm.
Do you just want to, like, I don't know, just do the show?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Okay.
It's a whimsical Wednesday, guys.
Wednesday, baby.
Wednesday. Welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show, coming to you live from Studio K, presented by Circle K. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading that Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. I am Anthony Totri, joined as always by the Jedi Master himself, also known as the meme maker. That is Erik Ruby. I was kind of waiting for like a studio round of applause, you know.
Woo! Nobody
Yeah,
cares.
let's
Nobody
go.
cares
We
about
also
me.
have Captain Redbeard behind the Mac making all of the magic happen. Guys, love what we got in the chat already. Some Go Sun Devils, some Tridents out there, some pitchforks. Throw them in there, man. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Now, Arizona State is still in the thick of their bye week, second bye week of the season.
Man,
but
I hate these bye weeks.
I don't hate them. I don't hate them for the team perspective.
No, well, yeah, I'm not. I mean, they
You hate them for the
make
content.
sense.
Hate them for the content.
I'm not anti-bye week from like an actual perspective, but like, man, I want a football game this
That's fair.
week.
That's fair. Well, we get a basketball game at the end of the week.
That's true.
On
Sunday,
which we'll talk
a
about
fake game, but a game.
at the tail end of today's show. We're going to be getting into Arizona State football, just the program. I want to zoom out from what we've seen over the last 7 weeks of the season and kind of just determine how we feel about year two of Kenny Dillingham. Talk about some players that have really stood out through those first 7 games for the Sun Devils, and maybe some players who have left a little to be desired that we'd love to see really, really improve their numbers on the back half of this season. But let's go ahead. Let's get into Kenny Dillingham for a second, Erik, because this team, again, over the last few weeks, we've heard it. They were picked to finish dead last.
Huh?
Dead last. 16 out of 16.
No way.
There wasn't going to be a team worse than Arizona State.
Lower than
going into
Houston.
this. Lower than Houston.
Really?
Lower than the Wildcats.
Really?
There wasn't going to be a team as bad as the Arizona State Sun Devils. That's what you heard from all the Big 12 media. That's what you heard at Big 12 Media Day.
Well, surely all the experts were correct.
I mean, they must
Surely
have been.
everybody
they knew exactly
knew what was
they
going
were
on.
talking about,
Yeah.
right? They had been around the program, yada, yada, yada. This team was 3-9 last year. They were 3-9 going into this year. The roster completely shaken up, and a lot of people thought that this team was going to be the worst of the worst in this conference. 7 games in, I don't know if there's been a team in the country with a bigger chip on their shoulder than the Arizona State Sun Devils week over week. They're 5-2 to start the season. Cam Skattebo is a household name nationally, alongside running backs like Ashton Jeanty. And Kenny Dillingham has this program shocked, cooking, insert whatever verb you want to. This team, this program looks wildly different than it did in 2023. Even again, only being halfway through year 2 of Kenny Dillingham at the helm.
He has completely changed the perspective of what people see when they look at Arizona State.
Yeah.
Because, like you mentioned, 2 months ago, man, 2 months ago, it was doom and gloom in Tempe. Oh, Kenny's a good guy. We like him as a coach, but there's just no way that he turns it around this year.
Yeah.
And you spent such a long time seeing him build things a certain way, right? Through interpersonal relationships with people, not caring if you're going to transfer out because you don't want to be here and you only want people who actually want to be here.
Yeah.
Taking sanctions on the chin for something that he did not do, right? But embracing all of that and never looking at it as like a chore or a burden, but as an opportunity and a blessing to coach this team, to be in this city, to be at his alma mater. And I think the moment where You can really get that look inside of how much this means to him, which I do think is the reason why this is working, is that after that Utah game, when he just starts screaming, I was one of these guys, right? When he does that, you know that means something to him, and it's not just like every football coach wants to win. Every football coach wants to have the best program in the country. They want to get the highest recruits, and they want to have, big fan base show up and rankings and money and TV and all.
Because why wouldn't you?
Right. And I'm sure there's part of Kenny that is driven by purely success. But I think the underlying thing and why it's actually accelerated here is because he truly gives an F about Tempe, about this program, about ASU. And that's why you're sitting here now and going, wow, how did this all happen so fast?
I mean, look, this is what we're going to do.
Oh, sunglasses?
I mean, okay. I just want to keep it a buck with everybody.
Okay.
I have covered a lot of college football over the last decade to 12 years. And I spent time at Arizona State. I had the luxury of watching Todd Graham do what he did, kind of fall off, the introduction to the Herm era. Then, obviously, if you are a day one of this show, I used to talk about it all the time, but was in South Bend, covered Notre Dame for a few seasons, watched Brian Kelly, had the luxury of going on road games and watching other programs from a culture perspective.
Yeah.
Right? Watching Wisconsin play. Watching them, their fan base do jump around. Watching West Virginia in Morgantown. Watching Virginia and Enter Sandman. And going to Florida State and the tomahawk chop. And then, obviously, Kelly goes to LSU and Marcus Freeman goes in there. And then you got the way that he does things. And I tweeted it out when Kenny Dillingham was named the head coach here. And I had, the opportunity to go to a couple practices. And I said, I have never seen anything quite like this before in practice. Not at Notre Dame, not at UCF, not at LSU, not at any of the places that I had watched these teams, these programs, not just teams, practice.
These institutions.
Yes, that
College
are literally,
best.
yes. And people said a bunch of stuff on Twitter, making a mockery of it, whatever. That's fine. Just me seeing what I saw, right? And the difference between those programs versus what Arizona State used to be was you could show up the very first day of spring football in South Bend, Indiana, and there was a championship level mentality that they would roll out there with their coaches, even all the way down to their PR staff. Mm-hmm. They were a machine. And you showed up, and when I got back to Arizona State and was watching the last of the Herm Edwards era, watching those practices, it was lackadaisical. There were coaches, Herm Edwards
Herm
included.
Herm got up early.
There were coaches, including Herm Edwards, that it didn't even look like they knew what they were doing out there. Right? And that's just based purely off of observation. And when Kenny was here, there was an energy that I hadn't seen at those other places. It's one thing to be a machine. It's another thing to be a machine that doesn't turn off with however many AA, AAA batteries that you want to put in this guy. Like, Kenny Dillingham had this program from day one, understanding that a change was coming. And if you didn't want to be a part of the change, then that's fine. We're going to support you on your way out, but please leave.
Right. We're going to say all the kind of things because Kenny's a machine, but a machine in a way where, he has the football brain, right? He turns it on. I always reference when we had him in studio and I asked him some very basic question, like some surface level, what are you learning? Right? And he just gets so deep into this specific scheme and how it works. And I'm just like, this guy doesn't turn his brain on.
No.
But that's not the reason why his players love him. Mm-hmm. It's part of the reason why he's a great football coach. And it's part of the reason why the players want to play there. But they love him and they want to be there for him and they want to play for him and they want to be at a school that was 3-9 last year, a school that doesn't have an NIL collective to the level of the schools that you were mentioning. They're getting better, but they're not nearly where they're supposed to be. A school that has a fan base that was completely lost because of the last regime, right? But players wanted to come here because when they sat down with Kenny Dillingham and they talked to him person to person, they could tell that he cared. It wasn't like hey, I really want you to be on my football team. So I'm going to tell you all these nice and pretty things that we're going to do for you. And I'm going to promise you these things. No, I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to tell you exactly what we need you to do. I'm going to tell you how hard it is for you to earn it. But if you do this, I'm going to be there every step along the way to help you there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it because I care about you, I care about the program, and I care about this sport. Because you can see coaches succeed just being kind of like, kind of grimy, kind of slimy. Look at Jed Fish, right? I mean, seriously, good football coach. Good football coach. In today's era of college athletics, I think the Jed Fishes of the world are going to get exposed. Because when you are not genuine, you are not going to be able to sustain getting these types of players and this type of talent. And look at what Kenny did when he had 3 wins. You're already at 5 wins for this season, right? You're looking at hopefully anywhere between 7 and 9 as far as wins go on this season. You talk influx of money, fan buy-in, fan support, returning players, lots of young guys on this team as well. He's going to be able to do some incredible work. And that all stems from what you said, day one.
Yeah.
Day one, he was ready.
It was to the point where they broke for the first time. They broke a huddle after doing stretches. And Kenny called him back in. And I know it sounds cliche, it sounds whatever. But doing that and having these guys understand, hey, we're going to do something with a level of intensity that you haven't seen in Tempe in some time, if ever. And that is going to inject itself through the program, through the players, through the coaches, through the staff, and eventually get all the way to the fan base. And that's what you said, right? That this fan base was lost at a point because they didn't have anyone to support. They didn't have a program that they believed was doing everything in its power to actually churn out a winning product. And that's not all on Herm Edwards. Part of that falls on Ray Anderson. Part of that falls on Michael Crow. But you look at it right now and it immediately translates into wins. There are 3 programs right now in the Big 12 as it relates to football that are undefeated 4-0 at home this season. BYU, who is 7-0 on the season. Iowa State, who is 7-0 on the season. And your Arizona State Sun Devils are 4-0. I will say Kansas State is 3-0 at home, 6-1 overall. Those are the only programs in the Big 12 right now that haven't lost a game at home. Would you consider last year Mountain America Stadium to be a threatening place if you were an opposing team? A place that you feared going into?
When it's packed and rowdy. Last year, no.
When there wasn't packed.
No.
Right?
No.
But you go back to games already this season where there's momentum building. Arizona State came out of the gate and beat the brakes off the Wyoming Cowboys. And immediately, what did Kenny do? He used that as fuel to get the fan base to come out against Mississippi State. Hey, come be a part of history.
Yeah.
Boom. They came, they were part of history. And then you immediately turn that, hey, first Big 12 home game after we've got Texas State and Texas Tech. Come out. Be there for Kansas. Fan base showed up, showed out for Kansas, right? Then Utah, come beat a ranked team. Fan base was there, beat a ranked team. And now it has slowly turned into a point where Arizona State only has 2 more home games this season.
Right.
You got UCF, a game that Arizona State should win.
They should be favored to win that game. They have better talent. They should win that game.
And then you got a fun one against BYU.
That is going to be a crazy game.
But these are games now to where the fan base is bought in, to where Mountain America Stadium can be a place where opposing fan bases, opposing teams, opposing coaches are like, okay, we got to, at the start of the week, we got to check this place off. We know that this is going to be a tough place to play. Mountain America Stadium hasn't always been that type of environment. And like Will says in the chat, getting the building blocks set in place. Kenny Dillingham is building Arizona State brick by brick.
Yeah, it's a slow process. It's the term that we have coined on this show. You cannot microwave a successful football program. You can microwave a good team, get a lot of good transfers in, be good for a season or 2, and then you move on with your life. But a program, you got to bake that thing.
Yeah.
Right? And Kenny's giving out samples while it's getting baked. Everybody likes it. Everybody likes the samples, but it's just a taste.
I love samples, dude.
It's just a taste. I'm so hungry right now.
I know.
I'm so hungry.
I just ran through some Circle K pork rinds.
That's true. Yeah. You were going kind of crazy.
I was
on
a hungry
those. You were
man,
going
dude.
kind of crazy on those.
Man.
No, but I mean, you're 100% right. And I think what's exciting about it is there's not this underlying fear of, well, what happens when they're good if he wants to go somewhere else?
He's not going nowhere.
He wants to be here. He wants to turn this place into that place that people leave to go to.
Yeah. He's having
Not
a house
vice
being
versa.
built. House being built should be done in December.
Are you building that?
I'm not building this house.
You're on the ground?
Yeah. I mean, if he might leave if I was building the house.
I've built a house before.
You built the house?
frame.
Oh my goodness. There was, and this is a totally random thing. My brother got a kick out of this. I am not, like, if you know me, I am not the most, like, let's work with my hands kind of guy.
No.
Right? I am not a lunch pail, hard hat kind of
No,
dude.
you're a white collar kind of guy.
When I was single and I was on some dating apps, I had a girl match with me one time, and her immediate comment, like, was just, you look like a man that could build me a house with your bare hands. And I screenshotted that. I sent this to my whole family. My family was cracking up. They were like, dude, you could maybe do it with like Lincoln logs or like Legos.
I can confirm I was in the car when you were asking people to build like a dresser for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that was my dad. He came and he helped me build the dresser.
Which is crazy because your dad's like a mechanic.
I was messing with that for a solid 2 hours.
That's tough.
It wasn't a good look.
Okay. Well, we're off kind of like just a little bit out there right now.
We're in Never Never Land.
This is like somewhere in between. Insane weekend of college football.
This week?
This week.
Tell me what we got.
All right. You strapped in? You buckled up? You ready to go?
One sec.
So for own personal interest, Arizona WVU. Fine.
Oh.
Right. Okay. Navy Notre Dame.
That's going to be a fun one.
Boise State UNLV.
Boise State's going to run through them.
UNLV 6-1.
I said what I said.
Pitt 6-0 Pitt against 5-1 Syracuse.
That has Syracuse trap game written all over it. Like Syracuse is going to win that game over Pitt.
Number 15 Alabama versus 21 Mizzou.
Give me Bama.
Oregon versus Illinois 1 versus 20.
Oregon.
Texas versus Vanderbilt 5 versus 25.
Dude, what happens if Vandy beats Texas too?
That's crazy. Here's probably the game of the week.
Do they win the Natty? Could we just give them the Natty if they beat Texas?
We might have to. They have an insane season. LSU versus Texas A&M 8 versus 14.
That'll be a good one.
6-1 versus 6-1.
At A&M.
At A&M.
Oh,
Penn State, Wisconsin, which is 6-0 versus 5-2, but Penn State's third in the country. SMU 22 in the nation versus 6-1 Duke. If I ask
Duke's
you what
6-1.
what Duke's record is,
6-1's kind of
6-1.
wild.
6-1 for Duke is crazy.
I didn't know that. I didn't know they were 6-1. I haven't watched a lot of Duke football.
I have not watched a lot of ACC football. If I'm being honest,
nobody has. Nobody has to
but
be.
yeah,
honest
I mean,
with you.
6-1 SMU is 22nd in the country. I mean, it's a good week, and then Miami's going to run roughshod over Florida State. That's going to be tough.
Oof, Florida State. Pour one out. Pour one out for the Seminoles.
I feel like sicko mode. I'm really excited for Boise State UNLV.
Welcome to the grind.
Welcome to the sicko mode.
Welcome to the college football grind.
Come on.
It's a fun place
Come
to
on,
be,
man.
Rubis. It's a fun place to be.
The real sicko stuff is 3-4 West Virginia versus 3-4 Arizona at 4 p.m. on a Saturday.
I mean, where else would you rather be?
Anywhere.
Anywhere?
Anywhere else.
Well, I'm going to tell
Garrett
you a place
Green.
that you can be.
Noah Fafita. 4 p.m. Saturday.
Oh, God. That's...
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
No.
I got a better
Let's
place.
move on.
I got a better place than all
Tell me.
those. I'm going to tell you while we get into this break. How about that? Gila River Resorts and Casinos.
Yes.
My gosh. That is a much better place to be.
Oh, yeah.
Much, much better place to be, guys. At Gila River Resorts Casinos, nobody does it better. You can visit any one of their 4 locations, but why stop there? You could actually just go to all 4, to be honest with you. Maybe start with Wild Horse Bass, then go to Vicuiva, then maybe Santan Mountain. It's totally up to you. Whether you want to go make some money with their 4,500 slots and live table games, or catch all the action at any of their sports books. Maybe you want to get in on the action with that giant college football slate, or maybe you want to go just have a little staycation, hang by the pool.
Come Friday for our watch party.
Do that too. Going to be hosting events
Suns
there
Lakers
all year, including Cards and Suns watch parties and more. So stay tuned for info on how you guys can come hang with us. Remember, you do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playatgila.com for details.
My good friends at Desert Financial Credit Union, they've been here for me and my family. They're here for you and your family. And they have been in Arizona for over 84 years. I feel like I can just say 85.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice...
I'll give you the...
I'll say even, but it's not an even number. Nice even 85. Right? They've been Arizona's largest, most trusted local credit union. They're dedicated to creating financial solutions and experiences that just make your life better. You got your basics, your checkings, your savings accounts. We all should have those. Of course, you also have mortgages, loans, credit card options, investment options, and more. Plus, so many locations across the valley. Smiling, friendly faces there to help you, whether you have any financial questions or you pull a me from like a year and a half ago because I'm on a good streak and you lose your debit card at a bar. And if you're an Arizona sports fan, an ASU fan specifically, you can get 3 different ASU themed debit cards. And on top of all that isn't enough for you. You can get $200 for free. Now's your time to show your ASU team spirit. Open a free checking account online. Get $200 plus your choice of 3 ASU Visa debit cards. Go to desertfinancial.com/ASU to get started.
David S. in the chat, revisiting La La Land from yesterday's show. Kansas State isn't Oregon. Every team in the Big 12 is beatable. 10-2 is the ceiling. I mean, is that your burner account right
I'm back.
there? Is that
I'm
your
back
burner
in La La
account
Land
right there? Come on, man.
Listen, am I going to predict that they're going to beat them? No.
Okay, I better not hear you change up.
Going to predict that they're going to beat them. However, if we're talking about the ceiling, if we're talking about the best of the best case scenario, everybody's on the menu. Everybody can catch these pitchforks.
Okay, I mess with that. Good stuff. Guys, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Look, we talked earlier about Kenny Dillingham slowly building this program from the ground up, literally from the ground up. This program was 3-9. They had to impose a self-bowl ban because of the situation that had occurred with the previous regime. But part of that has been adding players this offseason, retaining players from last season that have ultimately been a giant part in Arizona State's 5-2 success to this point in the season. So I want to give some flowers and talk about some players who have, in my eyes, already succeeded in 2024. And you got to start with the guy. You got to start with Quattro. You got to start with 4 on the other end here. Cam Skattebo has been an absolute wrecking ball for Arizona State so far this season. And it's been remarkable to see him return off of last season and then have the year that he has had. Last year, he had 9 rushing touchdowns at Arizona State. This year already, he's got 10 rushing touchdowns. There's only one player in the Big 12 that has found Pater more on the ground than Cam Skattebo. And I believe that's RJ Harvey. And right now, Cam Skattebo at 848 rushing yards, RJ Harvey at 890. Cam Skattebo with an opportunity, when it's all said and done, to lead the conference, to lead the Big 12 in rushing yards, in rushing touchdowns. Cam Skattebo has been, just remarkable to watch in the maroon and gold.
I think my favorite thing about Cam Skattebo is that he worked to get better this offseason. Slimmer, faster.
Yeah.
Yet he didn't lose that punch, the power. You saw it. I know we lost against Cincinnati, but we saw it where multiple players on Cincinnati went down because they tried to test that man.
Yeah. He's not a man. He's a monster.
He is a monster. But the fact that you could still do that after spending an entire summer reshaping your body, getting leaner, getting faster so you can break away, and we've seen that too. Game-sealing plays against Utah. A lot of that came from speed.
Yeah.
Body control, agility. The guy is the total package when it comes to the best of the best running backs in college football.
Can you give me 3 things that are scarier than Cam Skattebo? And I'll tell you if they're scarier or not.
You building or working on my car.
Yeah, that's
I'm probably
scarier.
dead.
That's scarier. The IRS.
You're that scared of the IRS?
Everybody should be scared of the IRS.
Do you not do your taxes?
I do my taxes. But
there's no reason to be scared
scary.
of the IRS
No,
if you do
scary.
your taxes.
No, they're scary.
Scared of a meteor?
I think Scat's scarier. Meteor hitting Earth is a rare occurrence. Cam Skattebo is any given Saturday.
Cam Skattebo kind of is a meteor. A little bit. And scary. I don't know why I'm blanking. You got one?
You got something, Captain Redbeard?
Scarier than Cam Skattebo.
Other than the IRS and me working with my hands.
No snacks in the office.
That's super scary.
That is scary.
And it's a reality that we live in.
From time to time. Like I
Most
said,
of the time,
Circle
honestly.
K pork rinds. They fed
No,
me.
the thing is, we have the Circle K snacks and we love them, but we eat them so fast
That's
and
fair.
we eat so much of them. We need more.
Chat, let us know who you think or what is scarier than Cam Skattebo, if anything.
Oh, I got it. Oh, how did we miss this? Brent Brennan coaching your football team.
Ooh, you're right. That is terrifying.
That is
super
nightmare
scary.
material.
That is super scary.
By the way, self-plug, Southwest Bias comes out twice a week. We already did one earlier this week on the Cardinals. Tomorrow, Mike, Luke, and I are going to do a Southwest Bias, which is right here on PHNX Sports, on if the Arizona Wildcats should fire Brent Brennan today, right now. You're not going to want to miss that one. Tomorrow, sometime afternoon, late afternoon, right here on PHNX Sports, baby.
I love it. I love it. Who else for you has been impressive and would you say successful so far in 2024?
Not to go basic, but I'm going to go basic.
You going to go Sam Levitt?
It's been Sam Levitt.
Yeah.
It's been Sam Levitt. There was the talk of the town, Rashada versus Levitt. Now Rashada's gone. Now it's Levitt versus Sims. Oh, Sims is doing well, but we're going to give it to Levitt anyway. And then he comes out. And just based off instincts alone, has been incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Now, has he been perfect?
No.
Has he been enough to power you to 5 wins on this season as a redshirt freshman quarterback who's imperfect? Yes. He has made smart plays. He's put his body on the line. I mean, he's paying for it a little bit right now, but his athleticism, he keeps his head on straight. He doesn't turn the ball over a ton. He's been really, really good for this team this year, and he'll only get better.
Yeah, that's valid. Sam Levitt has been, I think, really impressive through the first 7 games of the season. Obviously, he didn't play against Cincinnati. But his dual threat ability, it's something we saw in camp that I don't think the fan base truly was able to get a good grasp of, and just how valuable that's been. And like you said, he's only going to get better. This is the worst that Sam Levitt is ever going to be at Arizona State. The talent around him is going to continue to get better. The system is going to become more comfortable over time. Like imagine what a whole nother offseason will do for Sam Levitt, not only in terms of the system, but in the weight room as well. So every Arizona State fan should be really excited about what you've seen from Sam Levitt thus far.
I mean, the weight room stuff specifically because ASU's done a really good job with players in their offseason programs as well. And I mean, you just mentioned it with Scat, right? They honed in and made his body perfect for what he was trying to be and made him better.
Yeah.
They're going to do the same thing with Levitt, plus the mental side of it. You pair him with Arroyo and Dillingham for another year. Sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. What about you? What's another player that's stood out to you?
I'm going to say Jordan Tyson.
Okay.
Being able to watch Jordan Tyson so far this season has been really impressive. You go back to 2023, the leading receiver at Arizona State was Elijah Badger, had 65 receptions, 713 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the season, right? Already, Jordan Tyson, with 5 games left in the season, has 477 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns. The 4 touchdowns is more than any player had receiving last season for Arizona State. He's obviously got a way to go on the receptions, but watching him come back from the knee injury that he had at Colorado and then rehabbing it the majority of last season, taking it day by day, embracing a new wide receivers coach in Hines Ward, embracing a new mentality, right? When Rashad Samples left and Hines Ward came in with the emphasis on being able to run block for a wide receiver, it's been so fun to watch. And I feel like Jordan Tyson, we're in such a unique spot of being able to watch him get better each and every game.
Yeah.
I think we talk about that a lot with Sam Levitt, and we talk a lot about these players that are pretty young at Arizona State. And I think Jordan Tyson, for some reason, for us, just gets like lost in that conversation that like this kid is still super young and still has a ton of eligibility left if he opts to come back to Arizona State. I think that would be, I mean, just huge for the program to have another year of Tyson.
If you add more weapons alongside with them, I think part of the reason why we, maybe brush over Tyson is because the passing game just is not the main focal point of this team. And it's tough because he makes great plays and he makes terrible plays, right? He makes mistakes and he makes just, some of the best grabs and some of the best plays that this team has seen this season.
Yeah.
Right? But that comes, like you said, with age and also with, getting somebody in a rhythm with experience. And he, not that Sam Levitt's a bad quarterback to play for, but you're playing for a non-veteran, right? You're playing for somebody that's also learning and making their way in there. And so I agree. Jordan's been really good this year. I think there are definitely things he could be better at. I think for most players we're going to talk about, there are ways for them to improve, but Jordan has made some really, really, really key plays.
He's been impressive.
And scored.
He's been really, really impressive. I do want to get to some players that maybe you'd like to see a little bit more of.
Okay, we should talk a little defense.
Do you have another? Oh, you got.
We should talk a little defense.
Okay, give me one. Keyshawn Elliott.
Yeah.
Keyshawn
honestly,
Elliott's been a dog.
and I was debating bringing him up or Shamari first.
Shamari's been an interesting one because Shamari wasn't projected to play that. He wasn't projected to play nickel until Mason Williams left,
and he's done a good job in that.
He's done a really solid job. You could argue that. I mean, we're in a weird spot where the secondary hasn't been great, but also like individually, like they've made some really strong plays.
Yeah, it is kind of strange, huh?
It's weird because Keith Abney's had some solid
Keith
plays.
had a really great game against Cincinnati.
Shamari's had a couple great games. You think back to that Texas State game.
Yeah.
Even Javen Robinson has had his moments as well.
Yeah, that Texas State game. I'm pretty sure Javen Robinson. Was that the Texas State game that he put away with a PBU? No, because that was the game that X had an interception, which...
Yeah.
There was one game with Javen where he was locked down at the end of the game, and that basically sealed it. Yeah, they've all had their standout moments, but overall, the passing defense
it's been weird. It's been weird.
Yeah,
that they've
now
had
that you said it like that, that is kind of strange.
Yeah, it's weird to think about.
Because when you think about them individually, like I'm not mad at how any of them have played. Really,
but when you think about it as a group,
you're
like, why is the secondary not doing?
That's really strange.
Yeah, it is weird.
But back to Keyshawn, Keyshawn and Clayton Smith, obviously the two that were gone for targeting the other game, but they've been extremely impressive. And I even want to throw Jacob Kingaika in there as well. I think this defensive line and the linebacker groups have been playing really well off of each other and have made some huge, huge plays.
Yeah, I totally agree. Sharon in the chat, do we know how long Javen Robinson is expected to be out? Kenny did say today that the injury is not as serious as they initially thought, but it doesn't sound like there is actually an official timetable. Could play against Oklahoma State, could miss that game as well. I'll see what I can find out and what information I can provide to the diehards in the Discord, of course. Erik.
Yes.
We do have some amazing stuff going on with our diehards.
We do.
For just $48.
What?
$48.
No.
Limited
that can't be right.
Intro offer to becoming an all-city PHNX diehard. You can hop in the diehard Discord.
It's $48?
$48.
But isn't it usually like $80?
So that's $4 a month.
What?
$4 a month. Literally the same amount as a cup of coffee a month.
Okay. I would say that that's a misprint, but like we had the graphics. So you're being real. You're being honest with me.
That's legit.
I mean, we got Sharon in the chat. Diehard. Is $4 a month worth it?
$4 a month.
That's
literally
like,
a cup of coffee.
That's insane.
And what do you get when you become a PHNX diehard?
Just a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
You get a free hat or shirt every single year. We have some
that.
fantastic merch, even ASU merch as well. We might be working on some new ones too. You also get exclusive access to our premium written content without any ads. We also have video content, audio content. You get the diehard Discord, which for ASU is never not popping.
There's always stuff going on.
We are always talking in there, not just ASU, but all of college football in general, even some live stuff. Plus, we have all the other sports. Of course, for all of my fellow Suns fans out there, opening night is tonight. You can come chat it up with all the Suns crew in there as well. Plus, looking ahead and looking forward, man, this $4 a month is a great investment because, and this is good for our current diehards too, we are going to ramp it up as far as the type of content and how much content you're getting, because we got some plans and we're not going to say it for sure yet.
We got some stuff on the ASU front that you guys should be excited about.
ASU front, Suns front, overall general stuff. It's a good time. Got to do it. Sharon says totally worth it. Plus, is there still a free shirt? Yes, still a free shirt.
Absolutely. You think we would just take that away from you guys?
Never.
Absolutely
We just give it to you for cheaper.
Look, we've talked about some players on Arizona State's team that's had some success Now we're going to talk about some players that have left a little to be desired, and we'd like to see really, really ramp it up the back, 5 games of the season. We'll get to all of that and more, but we're going to do it on the other side of this break.
It's not game day this week.
No. Well, Sunday.
I still might have to crack open a neutral. Because my lord, are they so tasty. We going sunglasses on?
Yeah, we're going sunglasses.
We're going sunglasses on because Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived, keeping it tasty in Tempe. It's made with simple, real ingredients. Vodka, check. Seltzer, check. Real juice, check. And it tastes good. Not just like, oh, that tastes good for alcohol. No. The strawberry lemonade's one of the best drinks I've had this calendar year.
Kinda goes crazy.
It's not kind of.
It goes crazy.
Absolutely, 100%, without a doubt. Plus, it's not fake. It's not artificial. You don't want any of that artificial fake stuff in your drink. No, not nowadays. We can get amazing, delicious seltzers like the ones over at Neutral. They got the lemonade pack, but also other flavors. Pineapple, watermelon, black cherry, orange, and more. Orange also goes crazy, and nothing goes better with college football than Neutral Vodka Seltzer. Keep it tasty. Enjoy responsibly. 2024 Anheuser-Busch Neutral is a flavored vodka in carbonation out of St. Louis, Missouri.
This music goes crazy. I love this music. I also love our friends over at Circle K. Look, I told you off the top, I was hungry today. I was really hungry. I was not a smart man. I did not pack a lunch, but thankfully, here at PHNX, we have our friends over at Circle K that have us locked and loaded with a bunch of snacks. The pork rinds kind of go crazy. They kind of go crazy.
What's up with this kind of talk? Be more definitive.
You're right. The pork rinds go crazy. The snacks at Circle K go crazy. You know what else goes crazy?
What?
The savings. The savings at Circle K, they go crazy. All you got to do, guys, is you got to download the Inner Circle app. Sign up for the free membership program. Easy to download. Enter your email and phone number to be fully enrolled, and you are going to start getting those deals, guys. Enjoy your member-exclusive beverage deal. Inner Circle members like you can get any size Polar Pop or Frosty for just 79 cents. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. I love you, dude. I just want to let you know, yeah.
That felt really genuine.
Yeah, man, I love you.
I love you too.
I love you too, Captain Redbeard.
Okay.
I just don't tell you that enough.
Hold up. Pull back the curtain. Before this episode.
Oh my gosh. Here we go.
I love that you just said you love me and I'm going to call you out. This is like a perfect
This is
a perfect encapsulation of our relationship. So I sat down and I said, you know what? Today's show is dedicated in honor of Captain Redbeard, Kyle Cooper.
Mm-hmm. You did say that.
And Kyle said why, and I said because you earned it. And then you said why, I said because he earned it. And then you said no.
Correct.
And you can't tell him that you love him if you can't dedicate a show to him.
That's not how that works. I have not dedicated a show to my mother, my father, anybody in my life. You know why?
You're loveless.
Because that's not true. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that one.
How could you be so heartless?
Yeah.
How could you be so...
You don't dedicate shows to people.
Cold as a winter
unless they're dead.
Breeze, yo.
Kyle, can you do me a favor? Can you hop on camera?
Confirm that he's alive.
Yeah. That's what I'd like.
I'm dead, guys.
That guy looks very alive to me.
He brings
dedicating
me
a show to him. I love him to death. That's why he gets the game ball.
Okay.
Back-to-back weeks he's gotten the game ball.
I'm dedicating my performance on this show.
Well, then you better clean it up.
To Kyle Cooper. What did I mess up?
Been a mid-show from you.
Has it?
I mean, you're talking about dedicating
then let's
your
turn it up.
performance. I mean, that's you take us there, man. Take us to the promised land. I'm going to dedicate a post-game performance to you.
Okay. This guy, always trying to one-up me. All right, players you want to see more out of. You did not just do that.
No, I didn't do nothing.
I'm going to put your head through this table.
I did nothing, man.
Okay. Just kidding. We're all happy friends here. Who do you want to see more out of this season?
Who do I want to see more out of this season?
Who has been maybe good, but not as good as you would expect?
Prince Dorba.
Yeah.
I want to see more out of Prince Dorba. I know he had the injury in at Camp Tantazona where you guys spent, some time. I know you guys loved it up there. And he missed the first couple of games.
How did you know I went up to Camp T?
Missed the first couple of games of the season. And really ever since he's been back, he hasn't necessarily been a factor, especially in the pass rush, which is why you have a guy like Prince Dorba on the roster. He was touted to be the best pass rusher on this team. Now, Clayton Smith has obviously had a really strong start to the year. Prince Dorba needs to match that And if he's able to the last 5 games of the season, then I think Arizona State has a chance in some games that people aren't necessarily thinking they'll have a chance at.
Like Kansas State?
Maybe Kansas State, maybe BYU. And how impactful having 2 pass rushers like that would be, even in games like an Oklahoma State or an Arizona when you get to the end.
Games you're supposed to win.
Games you're supposed to win.
Yeah. I think Prince is a really good pick. My brain went offense. 2 players that I want to see more out of, but not exactly because they've been lacking.
Okay, I can guarantee that I know one of them.
I think you probably know both.
Okay,
they play the same position.
Okay, then I know. Yeah, then I know them both.
Yeah, DeCarlos Brooks and Kyson Brown.
That's not where I was going.
Really?
Really? I thought you were going to say Jake Smith and Melquan Stovall.
Those were my other 2 options in the wide receiver room. Okay, and the reason why I want to focus on the running backs first is because this is such a run-heavy team, and obviously Cam Skattebo's Cam Skattebo. You're not going to replace him. You're not going to usurp him as the number 1. Whatever. But that first game against Wyoming and then sporadically throughout the rest of this season, it's felt like DeCarlos Brooks has been like that perfect counter, right? And I brought this up with Ralph. Like a cross is great. Like you're gonna knock somebody out with your right hand with the power is awesome. Cam Skattebo is your knockout blow. You need a good jab.
You do.
You need to set it up. And Kyson Brown has been more than a jab. He's been that secret hook that just comes out and rips off a big one. I just want to see more from them, and I want to see more ran through them, right? Because I don't see the purpose in, saying, oh, well, Scat needs to be saved. Scat, he can handle all of it.
Needs to be
However,
save Scat.
I do think there's something to be said with, hey, man, take off like 2 or 3 carries, a half from his plate and spread the love around. And near the end of the game, you might get him even better.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why I want more out of DeCarlos and Kyson, because what I've seen out of them has been good. But when you talk about Melquan and Jake, we haven't really seen anything. And I think that is on both of them, not just coaching, not quarterbacks, but I think that's on Melquan and that's on Jake Smith.
I think that's interesting then.
I think those other things I named play a factor in it.
Yeah.
For sure. However, Melquan's hands have not been as steady.
Correct.
And granted, he has not gotten the same amount of opportunities, but still.
And that's where my concern with Jake Smith is I don't know if he's gotten the amount of opportunities.
But which is so weird because Kenny was sitting there saying that he was maybe the best player on the roster 8 months ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it is weird. It is weird.
Like they don't look for him.
He's not in the game.
Right.
But is that more of him or is that more of Xavier Guillory coming on for the last 3,
No, but
4
it has
weeks?
to. It's not like X has been a world beater.
No, but he's been pretty solid.
He's been a
better
good
than
number
he was
2
last year.
Yeah, he's been a good number 2. That's why I'm not going to name him on this. But like, it has to come down to what they're seeing out of him, right? It's not like this team's overflowing with wide receiver talent.
Right.
There's no room for him to succeed.
Don't shoot the messenger.
You said you wanted a good show.
I want a great show.
Well, I'm giving it to you.
You are, but don't come at me like I did something. Like I'm the one that's keeping Jake Smith on the sidelines.
I don't know.
I'm not.
I saw you telling Kenny.
Yeah, because Kenny listens to me.
Hey, Kenny.
Come on now.
Keep the Gatorade player of the year out of Florida out of the game.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you why Jake Smith and Melquan Stovall haven't been as integrated in the offense as we thought they were going to be. Maybe part of that has to do with the emergence of the tight ends, specifically Shimon Matire.
Sure.
I've been really impressed with what he's done this season. Obviously, you've got Jordan Tyson, you got Xavier Guillory, and then Cam Skattebo. And right off that, like that's 4 mouths to feed. Without really mentioning the fact that if Levitt doesn't like the look, he's going to take off and run.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like he's necessarily forcing it now. I believe Kenny said on Monday that they do want to get more wide receivers involved in this offense and that it's going to help take away pressure from Scat. It's going to make the offense flow a little bit better. So it'll be interesting to see if they can do that on the road against a decent team in Oklahoma State next week. But you got a whole bye week now to try and integrate that. And you got a bye week to figure out your kicking situation, which again is a very unique spot. You've got tryouts going on Tuesday and Wednesday for that kicking spot. So we'll see if there are any changes on that front. Yeah. But this is, I think, the week for Arizona State, the players specifically, Prince Dorba, Melquan Stovall, Jake Smith, DeCarlos Brooks, Kyson Brown, whoever, and even the coordinators, Marcus Arroyo and Brian Ward, to take this last bye week before you get into the back half of your season and really, really hone in on closing this thing out with the best Arizona State season that you've seen in a decade.
If they get more out of all the players that you just named, they'll have 9 wins on the season.
I agree.
If everything that you just said actually happens and Sam Levitt's back,
I'm a truth teller, man.
are you?
Yeah, I tell the truth.
Well,
I'm not a genie. I can't see the future and make wishes come true.
Well-
Or what's the people that see the future?
an oracle?
Is that what they're called? Oracles?
Yes.
Yeah.
You
I'd
don't-
rather be
you don't
a
believe
genie.
me.
I'd rather be a genie. Would you rather be a genie or an oracle?
An
Or a
oracle-
prophet.
You'd rather be a prophet?
Isn't that someone that
Yeah,
sees
I think I'd rather be an
I don't need you to
oracle.
get religious on it. Okay, man?
I think I'd rather be an oracle because the genie has to like obey other people. Me, I march to the beat of my own drum.
Would you
And
rather have an oracle or have a genie?
probably a genie because they have to obey me?
Yeah.
Oh, you only get 3 wishes though. Kind of
Yeah.
lame. And
No,
you can't
but
wish for more wishes.
If you gave me a genie that had as much swag as the genie from Aladdin,
I don't know. I don't know.
what do you mean you don't
I don't know. I don't know.
It's a bad take on your part.
Okay.
Bad take.
Well,
Kyle?
Yeah.
Kyle, you give me
Come
genie
on.
vibes.
Yeah, genie.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on. What are we doing?
Yeah. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I need to be better. Be better.
I'll try.
All
Well, maybe we could talk a little hoops.
We could talk a little hoops. I do want to get to Eric's comment real quick. Hope Javen Robinson is healthy coming off the bye week because I think he's one of the more underrated corners in the Big 12. He and Abney are possibly one of the top duos in the whole conference. It's been interesting, like we said.
Yeah. This is, Eric, we're not with you, but we were talking this out earlier in the show, and
Like individually, awesome.
yeah, individually, Javen, Keith have been great.
Yeah. Then as a whole, you're
But
like, what the?
Passing defense is
Not been great.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like I get like on pit, like it's very weird. I feel like we might need to look into that this week.
I mean, we could do that.
It's like what's
it's
going
already
on?
Wednesday.
Like what's going on? It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday, and we only have 2 more shows this whole week, and one of them is tomorrow.
Yeah.
You want to talk basketball?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk basketball, but we're gonna take a quick break.
Friday. Hey, you. What are you doing Friday? You. Yeah. I'm talking to you.
You don't want to talk to me.
No, I don't care what you're doing on Friday. You. Friday. Phoenix Suns watch party at Gila River Resorts and Casinos, Wild Horse Pass. Suns taking on the Lakers, game 2 of the season. Of course, game 1's tonight. I will be on the Suns show tonight, on the Suns show on Friday, and I'll be there hanging out, talking ball. Make sure you come and check that out. But also, we have tons of other events. Like, we also have our Chicken and Pickle Trivia Night, and that is going on November 7th at 6:30 p.m., of course, over at Chicken and Pickle. That is free. You can register your team of 4 people over at gophnx.com/events. Plus, we have the All-City Desert Duel Golf Tournament, November 2nd, coming up at the Raven. Our friends from CHGO will be in town as the Cards host the Chicago Bears, and diehards from both markets will be in attendance. Tee time 8:15 to 10:45. Package includes tee time, cart, lunch at the turn, goodie bag, and tickets are available at gophnx.com/events.
Amazing stuff. Look, that's what we have going on from an event standpoint here at PHNX. PHNX, if you don't know, part of All City Network. DNVR, PHNX, DLLS, PHLY, CHGO, all cities with amazing shows. And then you can even take it from a national perspective. And one of my favorite shows that we have, All City Network, is What Chaos. It's
Such
the
a great
national
show.
hockey show, hosted by Pete Blackburn and DJ Bean. And one of our very own PHNX Sun Devils alum, Sean DePaz, is the producer for that show. So definitely make sure you are tapped in to What Chaos, the All City Hockey Podcast. Some amazing stuff on the content front, also on the merch front as well. Just dropped a whole new merch
The
collection.
merch is sick.
It is really sick.
Almost sold out.
Visit justdition.com to check it out. I love it. I also love college hoops.
Dude.
It's right around the corner, man.
Dude.
Dude, I told you we only had 2 more shows. One of them is tomorrow, and then one is on Sunday. We're going to be doing a post-game show
JJ.
on Sunday, talking ASU basketball versus Duke. Now, I know this game doesn't count. It's not a real game, but it's still going to be a lot of fun. The environment is going to be a lot of fun. You're going to hopefully get an opportunity to see some of Arizona State's youngest stars, Jaden Quaintance, Josan Sannon. You're going to see Adam Miller, and really some of these new guys on the roster, BJ Freeman and Austin Mason. It's going to be, I think, your first real test and taste of ASU hoops this season. And it's going to be, you're going to do it against a perennial powerhouse in Duke. And obviously, you got the connection with Bobby Hurley.
Yeah,
as well.
win-win. It's a win-win for ASU. You get blown out, it's Duke. You compete, it's Duke. You win, it's Duke.
Yeah.
Right.
The only thing that changes is the way you say it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is a win-win. There's one thing I'm worried about, though.
Oh, no.
No, wait, never mind. I thought I was going to stream.
What were you worried
I thought
about?
I was just going to stream on a subscription service, but it's going to be on the ACC network. Do we get the ACC network here?
I don't know.
We need to figure that out because I need to watch this game.
Yeah, we're going to watch this game.
One
and we're
way
going
or
to do a
another.
post-game show about this game.
I know we need to be.
So
able,
we
that's
really
what I'm
need
saying.
to
We need to
watch
be
this
able to
game.
watch this game. I'm excited. I'm really excited for this basketball season.
Is there a player specifically that you're most excited
Jaden
to
Quains.
see? Okay. Easy answer, Jaden Quains.
A chance to be one of, if not the best big man that this school's ever seen. Highest recruit in program history.
Mhm.
I'm excited to see Sandin as well, but Sandin's kind of in the mold of other high star recruits that we've seen. Scoring wing, athletic guy. We haven't seen somebody like Quains. I'm very excited to see what they do with them.
And Bobby's like been asked about Quaintance, and the way that he's described them is it's been unique to hear the compliments about his passing, that he is more of a passing big versus a traditional, I'm going to just post you up and sit on the block and do what I do. That, again, different than anything Arizona State's ever had, because even when you have bigs at Arizona State, they don't necessarily feel like they're game changers at Arizona State, right? Maybe they can sit there, they can take a shot, they're going to try and crash the glass, they'll block a few shots here or there, but there hasn't been a dominant big like you see in the league, for example, right? Like a Jokic that can have that passing element to him. I'm not saying Jaden Quains is going to be Nikola Jokic, but
Hey, man.
to have a big at Arizona State that has those capabilities, right? That where you can kick it inside, and then it's not just the rest of the team sits there and waits and sees what Jaden Quaintance does.
A modern big.
There's movements going
Yeah.
on. Like I want to see that, and I think we're going to get to see that on Sunday with Arizona State for the first time this season.
I'm interested to see how Bobby coaches around these guys.
Yeah.
What does your system look like? Because last year...
Is there a system?
Right. Last year, like, what the heck is going on? But then you also look at the talent and everything, and it's all disjointed, and you just don't like what you see. Obviously, he has a revamped mentality entering the Big 12. If you want to read about that, Craig Morgan did an article a couple of months ago while Bobby was in Japan. Took some time to talk to Craig Morgan, because why not? That's up at gophnx.com. I'm really hoping that we don't have the same questions as far as Bobby as a coach at the end of this season, because Bobby as a recruiter and as a
Doing great
mouthpiece for the
stuff.
program has done amazing
Yeah.
since that dreadful Utah loss in the Pac-12 tournament.
Yeah, how was that? I wasn't
I
here for
hate
that.
you. I hate you.
Sorry, man.
You say you love me, I hate you.
I do love you. I do love you.
I hate you in a loving way.
I knew exactly what was in store for that, and I had,
and you call me Jose Perez.
I had other that. Yeah, I had a family thing I had to do.
Oh, I thought I was your family.
I mean, you really
Won't
wanna get
dedicate a
into that?
show to me.
Oh my gosh!
Makes
dude.
me do the Utah ASU Pac-12 tournament post game.
Didn't make you do anything.
Put a gun to my head.
I did not. You could have made Shane do it by himself.
No, because you know what? I don't abandon my people.
I didn't abandon you. You had notice. Abandoning would be me just getting up right now and leaving you for the rest of this show and letting you close it. That would be abandoning you. That would be like you getting here and me saying, you know what, Erik?
What?
Peace. I'm out. I've never done that to you.
I wish.
And I wouldn't do that to you. Oh, you want me out?
No.
I'll leave for the last.
I'm kidding. Guys, we're friends. It's okay. It's okay. We might need a therapist, but we are friends.
We have any early predictions for this game?
For this
Sunday?
game, Cooper Flag's going to go nutso bananas.
Nutso bananas.
Yes, Cooper
Wow.
Flag's going to go nutso bananas. Sandin's going to score 20
Ooh.
On
San and 20 piece?
on 22 shots.
20 points on 20 shots.
Yeah,
He's
gonna
taking
launch.
20 shots.
He's going to launch. Quaintance, quiet.
30 and 15?
A quiet 8 and 6 assists.
Ooh. 8 and 6?
Yeah.
I could mess with 8 and 6.
Adam Miller, an efficient 14. I'm just going to give you straight numbers.
Are they winning here
No,
with these numbers?
Because Cooper Flag's going to go nutso bananas.
No, oh, yeah, I forgot. Cooper Flag's going nutso bananas.
And again, Sandin, 20 points on 22 shots. Williams has talked to Josan a while ago. Said their real focus on playing as 5 and not 1-on-1. Sounds like a major improvement already.
I mean, that's what this team did last year is they played just a bunch of 1-on-1 basketball. And
no, they did.
Gross.
They said, Jose Perez, get in the post. Huh.
Dude, I'm so happy we don't have to watch Jose Perez play basketball anymore.
You mean you haven't been checking into where does he play? Puerto Rico?
I don't know. Go look. Go check. What is Jose Perez?
I think if I Google Jose Perez.
It's just a photo of you.
I was going to say I'm going to get put on a list, but you're about to get put on a list.
Watching Jose Perez and this team play basketball last year was sad because it was 1-on-1 basketball. Even when Frankie was playing at his finest, you were watching Frankie Collins take it 1-on-1 and do his thing. And it was just a sad thing to watch. Obviously, with Jose Perez, he had his moments, but it wasn't great.
Okay, he plays. I don't think he's on the roster anymore. Last time Jose Perez played was for KK 94 in Serbia.
How many points did he score?
He did not start.
Imagine moving to Serbia for work and then you don't play.
Roster. Okay. Kevin Osaway, Rafael Rodriguez, Nemanja Todorovic, Filip Dumic, Bogdan Zakazovic, Vuch Radojic, Dusan Stojicic, Dusan Erik, Peter Grolich.
Are these all players?
These are players on the roster. No, these are just players on the roster. These are not even all of them.
And Jose Perez.
Love that. Love that. What's up, Amelia? Amelia, part of usually the Suns gang.
I love it.
Game tonight. Let's go.
I love it.
Sorry, that's the KK Kakak 94 Serbia KLS deep dive that everybody tuned in for. 26 still watching right now. I appreciate you guys.
Do we clip that part?
I think we delete all of the other content on our channel and we start fresh with the daily KK Kakak 94 PHNX show.
Yeah, I'll let you handle that beast.
Oh, I think Perez does
he
start? I can't tell. This website's crazy.
Well, I want to just know what was his last point total when he was playing.
All right, I'm clicking on him specifically.
Jose Perez was
the first stats they put up are stats at Arizona State.
Oh no, that's not good.
Yeah, all of his stats.
I know
are from
played
college.
He played at least one game.
All of his stats are from college in here.
Sharon in the chat, you guys, no more Gaffney taking threes.
Hallelujah.
Oh my gosh.
Hallelujah.
I forgot about that.
Hallelujah.
I don't have to watch Alonzo Gaffney play basketball anymore. Oh my God. Who was more frustrating last year, Alonzo Gaffney or Jose Perez?
Gaffney. Yeah. Jose was actually somewhat decent.
Gaffney, like, literally haunted my nightmares.
Yeah, except for that one game. Was it Stanford?
It was the one game that Flex was
Flex
watching
was like,
in here.
Gaffney's going to win this game.
And, of course, he went on a run, like a Jordan-esque like run. Just scoring, rebounds, blocks, steals. But, like, I promise you, this guy is not this good at basketball. This is just what is happening in the last 2 minutes of his basketball
KD
game.
archetype.
Literally, he had a KD-esque close to the game when he is, like, does not belong in that conversation whatsoever.
No, he might be on the opposite end.
What's Alonzo Gaffney doing these days? Is he
Am I really about to look up Alonzo Gaffney?
You are. I want to know what Alonzo Gaffney is doing, and I want to know if he has a LinkedIn
Didn't
page.
he go to the draft? I don't even get drafted.
There's no way he went to the draft. Diego in the chat, Jose literally disappeared like he was on the run from the government. Yeah, he just vanished. Didn't play with his team in the tourney. Just gross. The last Pac-12 tourney. Just abandoning his squad.
He did enter the draft, 6'9" forward. Good length for his position, 7'3.5" wingspan, well coordinated, fluid, good athlete. Finishes plays above the rim with ease. Okay, with ease is kind of crazy. Most recently played at Umeå Basket, BSKT, in Swedish Basket Ligan. That's not, come on. Basket Ligan? That's the league.
What are his point totals? Watch him just ball. He's got like triple-double after triple-double in Sweden.
Stats.
Come on, Erik.
He had 21 on October 6th.
Wow.
He had 17 on the 8th, 14 on the 11th, and 9 on the 15th. So he's going down.
But he's still putting up 20-something.
He had 21 and 11 on October 6th.
What was going on October 6th?
He's playing in basket league, man.
What was going on October 6th? Anything major happened nationally on that day?
What, is he like Castellanos?
Yeah, maybe for Sweden. It's National German American Day.
What?
Does that have anything to do with it?
Oh, okay. I think it's time to wrap the show up.
National Physician
I think it's
Assistant
time.
Day.
You guys can go ahead and follow him at
Change the light day.
Anthony_Totri on Twitter. You can follow myself at ERIKRUBY. You can follow Kyle behind the Mac at KCoop Sports.
Where can they follow
That is
the
Captain
show?
Redbeard. I'm saving the best for last.
Okay.
They can follow the show at PHNX_Sun Devils. We'll be back tomorrow for a live show, and then Sunday for post 8-8-6 Jaden Quayton stat line against Duke and Sannon 20 on 22 shots. But until then,
go Devils and peace.
We all silly like the mayor.